Baby, we back on the flank, cell phone edition. Your boy lost his internet, so yes, I'm using my Android phone. But Colin, go ahead and let them know who you are, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Colin Clarke, and I'm here live and in living color, the best dressed man in Gears of War, sitting next to my main man, Velly, and the other side of the screen. But Velly, once again, this week we are blessed, beyond blessed, with a special guest. Do you want to go ahead and introduce him?
Well, my bad, my phone was kind of crappy. But Toti, man, the warrior, the warrior, the pro. Let them know who you are, man. What do you do?
Uh, Hello everyone. My name is Toti. Everyone knows me by Toti or Toddy, whichever one is preferred. And I'm a special guest on OTF right now. That's what you
There
said.
we go. But first things first, let's get into the first topic of the day. Colin, this is your thing, man. A little down in the 2K. Tell us about it.
In the 2K, coming into the top 8 situations, we had two teams that I didn't really see making it all the way there. I thought there'd be a little bit of growing pains coming in. I thought they might drop earlier out of the tournament. But coming into top 8, we saw OpTic Gaming go against X-Nimbus, but now with Zerp, with the man in the middle out of that team, they're picking up Zerp because he was dropped from Rise Nation. I didn't really expect them to get there because I thought they might go through some growing pains, but they made it back to top 8. But then they were handled by the Kings of Gears of War on their way to their 11th championship. But we'll save that for later. The other next two teams in the top 8, Reciprocity playing a newly formed Rise Nation with everybody's favorite Slayer, Powers,
Can we talk
and
about
that matchup. Hey, I am so hyped to talk about that because that is a team that I did not expect them to make the move that they did. I wanted them to get Powers, but I did not see that man getting dropped for Powers.
All right, so when you have a top free agent out there and you want to pick him up, you expect to see a drastic difference almost immediately, right, Colin? Especially with a player of Powers' caliber. Am I wrong?
No doubt. When you pick up the Shinigami himself, when you pick up that god of death and he's running around the map killing everything in sight, you expect him to come in, be an instant impact player, a bit of a game changer, and elevate everybody else around him. The problem that he has on that team is he basically does the same thing of the person they got rid of, except he's not as much of an in-game shot caller as the person they got rid of.
It kind of blew my mind. When Rise Nation lost Reciprocity, I'm like, okay, that's kind of a step back because let's be honest, Reciprocity used to get handled by Rise Nation. Am I wrong? Zerp actually did his thing against Reciprocity. They were great games, had the upper hand. Like I even fact checked it. Like Reciprocity used to get that work from Rise Nation. They get the better.
It was the last 5 in a row. It was 5 in a row in 2Ks.
It is. When you looked at it, one we saw, I believe it was. I think Foundation was the second weapon. The first one was one of the new ones. But I mean, Detox, a versatile player, he went hugely negative. I believe 9-18. Powers did okay, and the rest of them they were just mildly average. Strix did his thing, but it was a close game. They lost, I believe, 5-7, and then on the new map, I forgot the order. My fuzzy. Yeah, but on the new map, they actually got wax. It was. I might have the scores flip. I wish I had my pictures on me. I'm on my phone, man. It sucks. But yeah. But the second map, they definitely got destroyed, and it was pretty bad. So when you take a look at this, you have 3 new players, right? With the quality of players that you have in Powers and Chirp, and then you throw Detox in there, you expect a big difference. You don't expect to still be a 6th best team out there, while Reciprocity is getting closer and closer to become a top 4 team. You're gonna want significant improvement. I had a guy named Transcending. He tweeted me today saying, "Oh, it's been like a week and this and that," and he loses Reciprocity like that, and it's like, dude, like OpTic won a whole event with like a week and a half of practice.
14 days.
Made it 14 days of practice. EchoFox got top 2 in the 2K. So what excuses do you really have out there? Is that going to saying Velly's stupid? Then it's like, just win and now shut up. But that's not the case right now. You didn't make an improvement. 3 to 4 days. Okay, that would be different if we're playing a really, 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 really hard strategic game like whatever World of Warcraft. But we're talking about plugging in a Slayer over a Slayer. There's not going to be that drastic of an improvement when your system stays the same. So maybe it's just me, but I kind of expect to see a lot of flashes of greatness from this roster, and that's something I didn't.
I think it's unsustainable. That team without him, that team without Zerp doing what he did best when he'd be the tip of the spear, and it was the double-edged sword. Zerp could get into any fight he wanted. He could take any fight he was wanting to, because they knew that if he won it, it made everybody else play a little bit better. Everybody played a little bit faster. Everybody played the right game. But if Zerp lost, you could kind of solo him out. You could kind of play that. You could double cover Zerp, if you want to use a football analogy. And if you took him away from Rise, you could kind of pick apart the rest of the pieces that were on the map at that time. But Zerpting gone, not being able to make those little in-game adjustments, those little in-game play calls where he might win his fight, but he sees somebody else struggling, and you've just got to rely on, all right, Powers, go get us a 4-piece. All right, Powers, go kill everybody in bowl. All right, Powers, go do that. When that becomes your mode of operation and you don't have but a week to try to make that work, it's not going to be sustainable. It's not going to work, especially against top teams. And let's not take anything away from Reciprocity. Reciprocity is doing the exact thing that we spent months talking about. They finished great in San Diego. They played amazing on Sunday to have the finish that they did. And guess what they've done every week since then? They've stayed
improved
together. They've grinded together, and they've gotten a little bit better with each and every week. They've gotten a little crispier on their rotations. They've gotten a little better on their initials, and their defense is starting to pick up here and there. So I think Reciprocity, doing it the right way, I think we can continue to expect bigger and better things out of that team.
I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about that series. I was happy to see Reciprocity still do well. I think Vital was literally one of the best pickups so far in season 2, period. Especially replacing the likes of Rezig and Shock. Soto, he came out of his grave and, he jumped in and found the youth. But the Rise Nation is, I want to see improvement, because it's just, they're kind of, you see, like I see getting better. Hive is definitely there. Let's see how they're gonna do without Toti, but I don't know. Like you're gonna have to do better. But moving on, man.
All right, let's go to the next matchup. We've got it now, and that we're still in that top 8 area. The next matchup that was big on that top 8 was that newly found team name of Fury, which was ex-EchoFox, but now they're playing with Shock, and they've got a coach who is a bit of an interesting choice, if you ask me. Demo Bounce. Demo Bounce coaching, sitting in the stream, sitting on a Skype call, I believe it is, with those other 5 guys, the Shock, Kenny, Icy, Franchise, and Kyle. He's out there trying to make some good shot calls. He's trying to get their rotations right. But the biggest thing I heard out of Demo a lot throughout the entirety of the streams that I was watching, where I was getting to see their perspective and hear their calls, was he really wants them to pick up on all the extra marks. He wants them to do a lot of extra talk in between fights, keep their momentum going, keep all the information flowing, never let there be any kind of downtime. And Fury took and controlled Simplicity the entirety of that matchup. Simplicity played so well the week before in their matchup when Fury was still the number 2 seed. Now they've dropped to the number 3 seed after the roster exchanges where they drop Powers, get Shock. They dropped to the 3 seed overall in the 2K, but they play Simplicity. But they made it simple playing against Simplicity, moving on to their top 4 area. And then Ghost Gaming goes against our guest's very own team. I loved the team name, Toti's Revenge. He was out for blood. He was hoping probably for a different matchup. I think he might have run into one specific team, but they go up against Ghost Gaming. And Ghost Gaming ends up doing what they need to do to get into that top 4 situation. They take out Toti's Revenge. But I want to go ahead and say this, a big thing that a lot of people might not have thought about. Toti's Revenge is a really dynamic team. It was Toti, Neglected, Domes, Flash, and Avers. They ended up beating a team that a lot of people had a lot to say about in San Diego, but a little bit different. They ended up beating a team going into from, I think it was 16 down to 8. They beat a team that had Eternity, Yogurt, Rep Solid, Witchy, and Abolic. So a couple of veterans on that team, a couple of names we hear a lot against a couple of teams, a couple of names that we hear, like a couple of names and a couple of veterans for Yogurt, Eternity, Rep Solid, Witchy, and Abolic, who have played on the pro circuit a while. And then Toti going up with Domes and Flash, 2 guys that you don't really hear them being talked about in the same rarefied air as a lot of those veterans. But Flash, oh my goodness, he plays so quickly sometimes. His name does not fail his play style at all. So that was a great win for them. But going up against Ghost Gaming, I think it was a little too tough for a first kind of. I think it was about a 7-day team, a little less than 7.
Yeah.
So we go to the top 4 now. Last minute. You played with some of them guys before. Don't lie. I saw those rotations. You can't tell me you didn't.
No, yeah, we played each other. I'm talking about like we played like that was like we just picked like the day before. Like, all right, we'll make a 2K team. That's it.
All right.
Damn.
Like,
so
let's go.
That's big thing. That's big things popping right there. If y'all can get it together last minute and get all the way to a top 8 team, and then give Ghost Gaming a little bit of a run, try to figure something out, try to win a few rounds here and there. That's big news. That's big time in my opinion. Let's go to top 4. OpTic Gaming, Reciprocity. It's a good matchup. Reciprocity playing well, but at no point in time throughout that entire match that I think OpTic Gaming didn't have be close to complete control over that matchup. It was almost a little sad because it was like you were just too far down. You were too far back. You wanted them to fight back. You wanted them to get these rounds, in succession, but it never happened. Reciprocity falls to OpTic Gaming in the top 4 situation. Now OpTic Gaming waiting in the finals for the winner of Fury and Ghost Gaming. I watched every round of this matchup twice because something I saw that really made me step back because it worries me more than any. Do what?
What did you see, man?
There were 20 rounds played throughout the entirety of that match. They only played 20. It was 7-2 Fury and then 7-4 Fury. The thing that worries me the most, though, about Ghost Gaming right now is Ghost Gaming won 14 of those 20 initial fights and lost 7-2, 7-4. That is a huge discrepancy when you think about a team who is so strong on initials like Ghost Gaming. When they are that strong on initial fights and they're winning 14 out of 20, and they're still losing round after round because they can't play defense. They can't hold it together. Somebody goes off. Somebody gets something crazy to happen. But here we go. I'm going to start with map 1 real quick. They played on Foundation. Ghost Gaming wins the first 2 initials. Then Fury picks up 1 with a 4 dead. Then Ghost Gaming picks up a full team wipe. Finally they get a full team wipe, get on the board. It's a 3-1 early advantage for Team Fury. But I'm going to zip down to the other half of that map. On the next to last round, where they were up 6-2 to go ahead and win 7-2, Icy lived at the home hill of Ghost Gaming. He didn't die the entire round. He stayed on their home hill. He was so annoying. He had Kyle shooting for him. Kyle ran out of Lancer ammo. He ran out of snub ammo. He was probably shooting Nasher from the other side of the first half home hills, just trying to put damage. And Icy's sitting there. He was killing everybody and everything. And let's go look at his stat line. 22 kills, 14 downs, only 9 deaths. Ooh. He was alive forever. He was never, ever coming out of respawn. But on the flip side of that, that's the best stat line we had. Shock with 23, 5, and 11, so 2 more deaths, but a lot less downs, but 1 more kill. So Shock and Icy playing amazing on that map. On the opposite end of that exact spectrum with Shock and Icy playing so well, Rezik only having 5 kills, 2 downs, 16 deaths. 16 times this man had to come out of respawn. 16 times, like Ric Flair is a 16-time world champion, Rezik is a 16-time death in that map. He was basically a free kill for all of Foundation. And then Speedy, the man, the myth that everybody talks about being so good in that bottom open and close fight, killing everything. He's getting in there faster than everybody. 6 kills. 2 downs, 18 deaths? He's got to do better than that. He's got to do better than that.
No, Colin.
Why don't you care? Why don't you care? I can't wait to hear this. I can't wait to hear it.
Take a look at history. Ghost Gaming has always been a better team on land. All right, and for those that want to disagree, take a look at the event that they actually won. Ghost Gaming was actually terrible online, and they're even worse right before an event. We all know that Ghost Gaming always thrives in a LAN environment when they're feeding off of emotions, and as long as Fatal Strike is behind them, telling them, reminding them about rotations and setups for next power weapons and hills. We all know that Ghost Gaming is always better on land than online. Online, how many times have we really seen Ghost Gaming in the 2K finals? Not a lot. Ghost Gaming has probably been in the actual finals as many times as they've been in the 2K finals. So with that being said, I'm not worried. Fury winning that matchup was expected. What that showed us, the problem would have been if Fury actually lost, because if Fury lost, that means they took a step back from dropping powers and picking up shot. But the fact that Fury won, it let us know, okay, they're either on the same level or they're ahead of that now. The next test is how they're going to be against OpTic Gaming. Them having a close matchup online against OpTic Gaming is good to me. Them getting waxed is going to be a different story. But like I said, I had an argument with a guy named Transcendings, where, basically I feel like EchoFox is on the same level right now. The only way they're going to get better is by getting first. They're going to do worse. Then we're definitely going to notice in their matchups against Reciprocity and Ghost Gaming. So what happened yesterday in the 2K was exactly what I expected, and all is well in Gears of War world. Because Ghost Gaming, they understand how they are on land. When their motions are running, they're the best players in the game. That's why they were the best team in Gears of War on Friday and Saturday before Sunday hit. But yeah, Toti, do I sound crazy? Like, you're a player, like, you've gone against these teams. Would you partly agree with me, or do I sound really stupid?
I actually do agree with you. It's expected from EchoFox to beat Ghosts, like, in theory, for how the game is right now. It's always supposed to be like that. And I've always seen Ghosts as like a better LAN team as well, and that stay true to this day. They're never really that good online, like to joke around online, which is expected. I mean, but no disrespect to that team, they're still very talented individuals. But for like a Fury though, it's very expected that they should always be placing second in the 2K or even winning. Like that should never change. But always, what I also like about the new roster with the addition of Shock and replace of Powers is how they said before, like, imbibe more team dynamic based. Because before they relied on with Powers is just Powers made a play, all right, shoot for him. That's why I noticed a lot with that team, and that's why they got second the first time. I think, what was it, New Orleans, right? They got second.
Yes, sir.
And then they got second. Yeah. And that was a big deficit because of that. And with Shock, I feel like they're going back to their season 1 roots. And what I mean by that is when they first had the original roster where Toy Soldier, Solars, and Praised, that team was heavy based with like around each other, not even like individual plays, but like playing perfect as a team. And that's what they go back to.
Team in Gears of War, yeah. I agree
that's
with
what
Toti,
they went
man.
back to.
Colin,
I've got a little response for this. I got a little response for that. You talk about they're so amazing when their emotions are running high. They quit out before the round even ended with people still coming off spawn. They went ahead and said, let's go ahead and go to map 2. Let's go to Dam, a map that they're so confident in. Hold on. You know why they should start caring about online? Because a big point you throw out there was with Fatal Strike standing behind them, they can make better decisions. I better hope so, because at one point on Dam, they win the initial, they get the drop shot, and then immediately Rezik turns around and runs back to spawn because that's where Speedy's coming out of yet again, and you can hear it on Icy Stream. You hear, hey, trade me real quick, because Speedy needs that drop shot in his hands. They were dumb enough to make that decision online, which worries me that if the moment ever comes where they're dumb enough to make that decision on land, they are not going to beat Team Fury. Fury last night did something that I loved. They played so precise. They played so well together with new kinds of leadership. They were listening to each other. It was like 5 different minds all talking about the same goal, which was embarrass this team. Ghost Gaming comes out on Dam, wins a few maps. They get up to a 4-2 round lead in the first half. They're up 4-2. The final score was 7-4. If you don't want to talk about emotions running high, go on ahead and lose every round in the second half until your ass is sent back home. I'm tired of hearing online. I'm tired of it. It hurts my soul that you say it's online. It really does, because I don't like people. If you got to play the way you practice. I don't like it,
but Ghost Gaming deserved it, and you know how they deserved it? By being one of the worst teams online before they made it to the championship. The last 3 events, they were trash online. They go to the event, and then look what happens. Win, they were disappointment. Major team change, championship game again. Like, they earned the right to use that excuse. Everyone else cannot use that excuse except Ghost Gaming, because let's be honest, do you ever think Speedy is ever going to get lower than 10 kills on land against Fury? Against Fury, Colin.
I mean, I better hope not, because I don't want to see that kind of matchup ever again. I don't want to hear trade me in the spawn. I don't want to see it.
Hey,
I don't want to hear it.
Once
It
Fatal
hurts my
comes out the
soul.
background, and flips a little arm thing, the Buzz Lightyear, and sees
He's going to get the armband out.
take the boom shot where it needs to be, the drop shot. They're gonna be all right, man. But enough about them. Keep going, Colin, man. Go ahead.
So Ghost Gaming falls 2-0 to Fury as expected, even though Fury's the 3 seed, Ghost is the 2 seed. They don't care about online. Whatever, I'll move on from it. It only hurts my soul tonight. So we're going to have our own little matchup, our favorite all-time longest running matchup. It seems like whatever team franchise is on is playing OpTic Gaming. It's just how life is in Gears of War for all of Season 1, and then most of Season 2 we see it. So they play Dam and Old Town. Those are the 2 maps they end up playing. They started on Dam, they go to Old Town. They only had to play 2 maps. They didn't even have to go to the 3rd map. On Dam, something I saw that really surprised me is after the first 10 rounds of that matchup, it's 5-5. OpTic Gaming wins the first initial. Fury wins the next 2. OpTic Gaming wins that first round off a triple cap. Fury wins the next 2 rounds off of 210 points. They're playing back and forth. Already, they've won more rounds than Ghost did all of last week. But again, online doesn't matter. Let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about it. They just get smacked around in grand finals. They get smacked so hard in grand finals, OpTic doesn't even stand up to get hype about it. So it's 5-5 going into these last 2 rounds, and then it's 7-5. OpTic Gaming takes care of business. They close things down. They do exactly what we expect them to do because it's online and win 7-5. They're all sitting in their nice little comfy OpTic apartments, winning it, sitting next to each other. So they go up 7-5. But Summons did struggle on Dam, which is something I think they need to look at. They really need to see if they can expose that matchup later on. Summons with only 11 kills, 5 downs, but he has 26 deaths. He was getting tortured a lot in those opening initials by somebody like Shock, who was rotating a lot around the map, trying to find Summons, trying to point him out and take him out of the matchup so that they can have a 5-on-4. So Summons playing his normal position ends up getting pushed out a lot. That's a really good matchup to watch, especially if you can get it on camera, if you can follow them around. We go to Old Town. Again, 7-5. It is played so strategically well by both teams. It is so back and forth, so nitty gritty. And both of these teams, a lot of players that are Gal 3 babies that must love Old Town, having it be 7-5. They must have played this map into oblivion. But the king of Old Town last night was Mental. Mental was the king of Old Town. Old Town has a mayor. It's Mental. Old Town has a president. It's Mental. He has 33 kills, 16 down. Mayor Mental, 33 kills, 16 downs, 19 deaths. He was running around the map, and I've watched him play Old Town about 4 times now through his stream, through his own perspective. I love to watch that man play. He plays it so perfectly. He knows how to get into that middle fight. He knows how to go right and left and do everything needed to make sure if somebody on the left side needs a little lance of fire, he can get that kill, rotate left. If somebody on the right needs it, he gets that kill, rotates right. But he also knows how to get out of there quickly if he gets starting to get drowned upon. But then the most scary thing about that map, the most scary thing about Old Town is second half. When you're going down that alleyway, that left side alleyway if you're on the top, the right side alleyway as you come out of the docks, you never, ever, ever want to see Praised and Solars and Mental coming full flight downhill at your home hill.
That's scary.
It's not Freddy Krueger doesn't want to see that in his own nightmares. Nobody on God's green earth wants to see those 3 men coming bearing down on him. And then as we got close to the end rounds, when it's getting close to where OpTic Gaming needs to put these rounds away. Something that I noticed that was really, in my opinion, a good sign for Fury moving forward is they were able to put each other together. They were able to pull each other together and say, let's go ahead and let's work on this. Let's get this kill here. Let's rotate over here. They're still fighting every single round, tooth and nail. They were playing it as if $500,000 was on the line, as much communication as was going on. But OpTic Gaming is playing at a level consistently higher than any other team, I think, in history. They just know how to whether it has to be a mid-round rotation or it has to be a mid-game strat they got to run, they have learned to do it better than anybody. And it's why they are your 11th time, ladies and gentlemen, 11 times in a row. They go into this tournament, they come out with a trophy. It's just how it is. It's wake up on Sunday, go to bed with a 2K championship.
That's basically it. The matchups pretty much what we've seen in the past, what we kind of expected. That cool indicator about how far these teams come along. You have Bryce Nation, who picked up Powers, a guy that plays top 2 and then top 6. They really didn't make no improvement. They got, I believe, top 8. But then you have EchoFox on the other end. They pick up Shock, and you instantly see improvement. Where they're having these close games with the best team in the game. There's no real hiccups. And they're able to work on things. Plug a player in, know what he's capable of doing, and just roll with it. So, Toti, any last words about the 2K?
Just that for the OpTic and Fury matchup, I believe from here on out, I would expect closer matches consistently than before.
I would agree.
For the simple fact that back in season 1, when they had the old roster, the original roster of EchoFox, back to the roots, literally playing as a team and focus as a team. While OpTic is same way, teamwork, but also they're just heavy slam. Anyone can pop off at it. And as long as EchoFox is able to recognize that, then best believe it's just gonna be closer matchups, and we'll even see Star even Fury winning the 2Ks as well from here on out.
I'm gonna have to completely agree with everything you said. The one thing about this EchoFox roster is everybody's really happy to be there. They're all extremely smart individuals. You have a whole bunch of in-game leaders on one team. Think about it. You have Franchise,
100%.
you have Shot, you have Kyle. This team is really, really bright, and they all know what they need to do in terms of just game IQ, which a lot of people in the lower end don't have. So it's really good to have that. But moving forward, I say we talk a little bit about the Toronto Land. This isn't going to be a long topic, but yeah, we're going to have a talent announcement soon. I'm really happy for it. It's going to be really important, especially if you're a team that's trying to break into the top 8 or try to get closer to number 1. The tournament is going to be this weekend, Northern Arena. I'm really excited for it. Colin, we've seen some teams that were going. We know OpTic's not going. What big thing you expect to come from this event? And Toti, you can feed on that after that.
The biggest thing I expect to come from this event is that I'm going to go ahead and say it. And you might call me crazy. OpTic Gaming's not going to win.
Damn. The one event OpTic Gaming doesn't win.
We heard last week, Ash is their coach, said that they're not going as a team. So they're not going to be there to be the juggernaut, to be the Frankenstein monster that puts everybody back in the grave. So what I expect to see come out of this event is you're going to see a lot of scrappiness. I really think that a lot of these teams are going to go in there with the mindset of anybody has a shot to win it now. There's nothing holding any of us back. None of us have to do anything special because none of us have to go through the green wall. So if Ghost goes, Ghost has to beat, Fury. They have to go through other top teams to try to get to that top spot again and hold up another championship trophy, even though it's a regional and OpTic's not there. But nothing's going to make you feel better about going into that. Nothing's going to make you feel better than going into that charity invitational with that previous win from the week before. That's a huge momentum boost, and every team is going to want to take that going into the next week. But I want to see these teams come out and play like their lives depended on it. Season 2 is right in the thick of things. You're getting to a point now where it's almost too late to keep trying to restart from the beginning and make something else new happen. You're going to get to those playoffs before you know it. You need to figure out what it is right now. You need to solidify your position. You need to solidify your team, and you got to go in there and you got to fight like your life depended on it, so that your life doesn't depend on it in the coming events, and you can make a name for yourself here at this event and play out of your minds. I think some of these pickup teams are going to make a lot of noise. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that we don't expect to do well that are going to open our eyes to a whole new world. And if you ever thought that there was a better time to play or go to an event, it's right here, right now. You don't have the juggernaut in your way. You don't have to play for your life against one of those best team right there. You've got some other teams that are beatable because they're still going through their own growing pains. Ghost Gaming still going through their online problems, still trying to figure some things out. They're going to probably be up there if they decide to go. Fury, another great team, if they decide to go. But all these teams below that, they're all beatable. They're all going to make sure that you don't step out of the shadows. But if you're an amateur, if you're a lower level team, it's your time to turn on the lights, to step out of the shadows, fling your cape over your back and say, let's go, baby. Let's fly. Let's make this thing happen. Let's go possibly win a championship.
100%.
How do you feel, man?
I feel for this event, it's amazing for everyone's opportunity. Like you said, anyone can go, anyone can make noise, and the best thing about it was that OpTic isn't going. So obviously, with that mindset, it's a lot better. And what I also love about this for the teams that are going to the charity event, if I'm understanding, I think Rise and Reciprocity are probably going to this to the regional, and they're also going to the charity event. You're getting land practice a week before an event. Like, take the advantage of it. Like with the new people next to you now, you're sitting next to them. Like take advantage of that. Like you don't even have to go into the regional to win it, but it's like a perfect 2-day practice, like in the land environment, land settings. Perfect. So it's like you'll come up with a bigger confidence day of the invitational. That's what I love about it the most.
I completely agree. You know what's crazy about this event? So a lot of top AM teams, they always say, and Toti, you hear it all the time too. Oh, we could beat Rise. We could beat Reciprocity. We could beat this team. Well, guess what? Since a lot of the top that be going to have the top Latin American teams, you know, Space Station Gaming, and one, really going to be put in a scenario where you're going to go against these pro teams now, and you're really going to have that one opportunity that you've always wanted, that one opportunity that you've always wanted to have to go this level, this caliber of team, and beat them on land, on stream, you know, in front of everybody. So if you don't make most of, you know, the opportunity that you have for this Toronto event, then you really don't care about it that much. Because after this, we have a charity invitational that you're most likely not going to go to. And no, that you're definitely not going to go to. And it's Mexico in the finals. So this is it right here. If you want to play Gears of War, you can't afford to say, oh, I'm going to wait until the next one. I'm going to wait until, no. Shit. The next one is here. This is it now.
That excuse has got to go for every amateur. So oh, yeah, like, oh, I can't go to this event. I'll just go to the next one. Nah, that excuse got to go.
It's got to go. It's got to go.
If you want something, it should have never been an excuse in the first place.
Nah, it should never be.
Yeah.
But oh, you were saying, my bad.
Yeah, for Toronto, that's pretty much it. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, but for like everyone, like for even all the amateurs, like literally, it's just guaranteed like any other like probably Microsoft or like any other like regular event. You show up to the event, you're already like walking through that door. You got like what I think 500 or 1K pro points already in your pocket, and all you gotta do is play to get more. Yeah. Like what? You're guaranteed something like just going, and plus it's a new experience. You get to go to a different place as well. Like if you have the chance to go, take it. That's all I gotta say.
Talking to everybody. Sorry. I'm not good. Moving on. Let's talk about orgs a little bit. EchoFox still doesn't have an org.
Interesting.
Shocked. All right, so this is an interesting topic because we're talking about a realistic top 2 team, and they haven't found a home yet. Now, a lot of people are because they're asking for too much money. And then you have to look at the realistic side of things, and even if you hate to hear it, no matter what game you play, if you're a player, to have, you have to have a big following, content, something that makes you extremely valuable, because the org is going to want to use that to make money off of. So those 2 things, were questioned about that roster. We've seen Icy make the tweets saying, I've been so-and-so out of so-and-so events, and I've been in the finals in these events. It's interesting that they haven't found a home yet. Is it a cause of concern, or are they going to be all right, Colin?
I don't think it's a cause for concern, because here's something that I was actually talking about a few days ago with a buddy of mine. After I saw that Shock was going to be the new pickup for that team, they were going to end up playing in the 2K with him. I think that team has great marketability. If you look at that team and everybody on that team, Icy calls himself American Icy. He's American Icy. Everybody loves when he rages, when he talks crap, when he gets on his mic and he starts to get it loud and get proud. But at the end of the day, he's a red-blooded American. And I think everybody can be able to get behind something like that. And then you go ahead, you look at franchise. He's without a doubt an amazing story. Been here since the beginning. The veteran. Everybody loves him. Everybody used to like joke about how he's washed and he doesn't have thumbs and he's still out here dropping 30 bombs against OpTic Gaming on Old Town. I mean, for Christ's sake, what more do you want? You got Critical Kyle, the best backstory in the game. The person I think even his opponents want him to win a championship at some point because he's got the greatest story. There's nobody that you could ever love more than Kyle, I think. Shock, he's that good old-fashioned Southern white boy. He's got that white boy charm down from South Carolina. He can go to that Chick-fil-A. He can go say thank you, have a blessed day type deal. He's great marketability. Again, and Kenny Bounce, the smartest man in the game. He can sit down, talk to anybody that's a newcomer, break it down in ways that you've never heard it be broken down before. I think you got to use those to your advantage. They're doing better with streaming more 2Ks, trying to stream a little bit more here and there, but they need to hold on to that. They can't just go to an org and have that org have any sense whatsoever that once they get that paycheck that they're going to stop all this. You've got to take what you have, use it to the best of your advantage, and then use it to market yourself. You've got to sell yourself better than you sell anything in the world. You might think, somebody might be looking at you and think that you ain't too great, but you got to make them think you're a brand new G-Wagon with the best interior you've ever seen in your entire life. You've got to be able to sell yourself on every single level. Whether you think you've got it or not, make yourself sound like the latest and greatest thing on the market. You better look at them and say, you might not like it, but you better learn to love it because I'm the best thing going, baby. So right now, I think it's not a cause for concern. We might see them get somebody right before the Charity Invitational. They might not have to go as Fury, even though I love the concept design that they got. I love that they got, Team Fury back. Franchises won a championship under that same moniker, so that's great history for him. But I don't think it's a cause for concern. All 5 of those guys can talk. They can act, and I think they have the correct kind of personnel to sell themselves to a big organization.
I feel like they're going to be all right. I hope those guys really wind up with a great org because they all deserve it, especially guys. I competed with him back in the day, and the man is still going, even better than ever. Moving on to the next topic, though. OpTic Gaming dropped Mexico. 2 things you can say about this. All right. They weren't up to. They got top 12, I believe, twice now under OpTic Gaming. And where's the content? It's funny because we saw Summons post up an update to how well he did when it came to content. Over 1,500 new subscribers. So-and-so hours watched. It was crazy stats. The comments were insane. Like, numbers were there, and it's like, you're under OpTic Gaming. That's what OpTic Gaming wants. They want marketability and a great team. They want you to put out content and win. If you're not going to win, at least be close enough and be popular with the fans. I didn't see enough of that with OpTic Mexico. They not only, get dropped from OpTic Gaming, but they also got dropped from the top of the leaderboards in regards to seeding. Now they're not the number 1 team in Latin America. The number 1 team is now Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice, they went ahead and flame over from OpTic Mexico, and they're rolling with it. I'll put a little bit of context. Listen, man, it sucks to see. A legendary roster now literally falling apart in our own eyes. I don't want to sound too dramatic, but being dropped by OpTic Mexico and losing your number 1 seed, that hits hard. That's going to hit me as hard as it would a woman leaving me, to be honest, because those are 2 things you don't want to lose. Are there a cause for concern in regards to that team? I'm going to start off with Toti, see how you feel. And Colin, you can pick it up after him.
Probably right now you could say so, but at the same time you could argue otherwise, just because that team has history.
They're going to be all right.
Yeah. But, I feel like at the moment right now, it's going to be kind of rough, but at the same time, I guess you could say it isn't. It just depends on how they handle the situations. And I'm pretty sure you guys recently saw, too, on Twitter that for the Invitational, that team isn't going as a full roster. They're playing with their coach, and they're also playing with. I forgot. I don't know, but Crack and Adverse aren't going to the Invitational.
Jeez.
Well, when
they're
funding gets swept from under your feet.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot who the fifth was. I didn't look, but I just know the Mize, and I forgot who else is taking Ever's spot for that invitation, which sucks. But I didn't expect it from Adverse, but I expect it from Crack. Just personal things. They don't have like the thing to enter the country yet. Adverse has to renew his, and Crack still has to do his as well. So they fall out short in the timing to be able to
Sucks.
come.
Colin, how do you
Which
feel
sucks.
about this?
This is a parachute moment for those guys. These guys got to either find the chute and pull it now, or they're going to hit the ground and they're going to make the biggest bloodstain you've ever seen from a former team. They're going to end up being on 5 or 6 different teams. You're going to see that entire team fall apart unless they can find the cord, pull the chute, and slow things down. That's huge, huge for that team to not have 2 of their players going to that invitational. But it's even bigger, in my opinion, for the opposite team in Latin America. Choche, the GOAT, right? Taking back the top spot.
The God.
The God, Choche, the God now. Hey, look, taking back the top spot in Latin America is massive for him, his team, his confidence. And if you look at the team that we saw, we kept talking about him in rarefied air. OpTic Mexico, look at how great they played. Dezo, we called him Deza God instead of Deza. We were talking about how Monkeys he was a walking double kill. He could kill any 2 people he ran into at any kind of time, any kind of place, any back alley. He'd just chunk them both, move on with life. So what we've got to look at now is, can this team pump the brakes, pull the cord on the chute, whatever you call it, however you see it, whatever analogy you want to use going forward? Can they slow it down, reassess their situation, and make things right? Because right now, everything is wrong. When you get dropped from OpTic, an organization that saw you being these 5 lovable Latin American players who could possibly get this region behind you and get all the tools that the green wall can give you, and you don't take advantage of every single last bit of it, I'm not sure if there might have been something that you didn't think about there, but you should have taken every advantage of it. So you lose that. That's a big haymaker. You're stumbling toward the ropes. And now you can't take 2 of your players to the invitational. You're going to be playing off your back foot to start off with. This could be rough. If they end up having a terrible showing at the invitational, that could break that whole team up.
100%. What sucks though too about this team is that this season has been their worst season yet. Has been their worst season, actually.
But ever since they got picked up from Mexico, they finished progressively worse. That was the worst thing. They got picked up by OpTic, and it was worse and worse, like bad and then worse finishes.
It was bad, yeah.
I feel like comfortability.
They got too comfortable. But I mean,
complacency is the best. Complacency is a murderer.
I don't know. I'm only assuming.
I don't know if it's an assumption because it looked like they continued to play the same way even when they were losing rounds. They continued to bash their head against the same brick wall that was also bringing them to the events, if you know what I mean. They continued to do the same things over and over again. They never adapted or evolved mid-tournament.
It sucks.
No.
But move forward from this though, because my battery's starting to die. Like to in this OpTic Mexico thing, it sucks because when I saw them going to San Diego, vehicle or whatever. No, it was New Orleans. Sorry, I told him, I was like, "Yo, don't mess this opportunity up. This is a chance of a lifetime. Take advantage of being an OpTic and of it. This is gonna take you a long way, even past your playing days." But they didn't. OpTic Mexico dropped them for whatever. I hope that they find another great home. They've gotten extremely. They've done well with it so far, having a splice in OpTic Mexico, but hopefully, they find another good one. But Warrior to Pro, Toti, this is gonna be your time to see. Thank God we don't see it anymore. But the topic of discussion on Twitter that was really big, and it was a notch. Or when AMs talk about how hard it is to go pro, how it gives them a shot, teams give them advice or scrims. You overcame all of that in a span of 2 of where you placed, I believe, top 12, and then you got top 6. Tell us about your journey, what you learned from it, and advice you would give these guys in following your footsteps.
I I guess for me, you can say, well, I guess for everyone, it's easier said than done. For the most part, I would probably say that just the main concern for everything is one, confidence. Two, actually no, actually one thing, confidence in your ability. And what I mean by that is having confidence in yourself and as well as in your teammates, and as well as putting basically the time and effort to everything that you do for your team. Because I'm gonna start out with like going into New Orleans with my first team or with the team I had instead of handles, it was Tidy. Going into that event, we were the AM team that expected to do well, but at the same time not to do well as like top 12, probably like what top 24, top 16 people had us at.
Yeah.
And some other people saw us as top 8, or we got in the middle between top 12. But going into that event, all the practice we had was like FYC, Aspire, like all the typical amateur teams that are still playing to this day. Literally, like we could never play any pro scrims or any stuff like that or any against pro teams, but it didn't matter.
Rough.
As long as you basically have the confidence in your ability as yourself as a player that you feel like you deserve it and that you can do good things with yourself and even as with your team, then believe that you would do good at the event. Because I don't believe in the first event jitters or even any event jitters like playing across with someone like that. That's nothing. The team's across from you, whatever, but you focus on your side and your side only. Play to your strengths and not the other team's weaknesses. Focus on what you guys are good at. Because if you can say your team's good at one thing, but you can probably be 10 times better. You know what I'm saying? But
Hey.
that's one. But yeah, going to New Orleans is just playing like the typical amateur teams. But like everyone else on our team, we had the confidence that we could do good things, that we were better than anyone else. Go with that mindset to every event and believe that you will succeed. And also, it's not even about quality. Actually, no, lie. Yeah. Not quantity of practice, quality of practice. You can go into days where basically like you can go every single day 7, 9, 11 scrimming. But what sucks about that at one point is if you do that for a whole week and at the end of the week you don't learn anything. That is the worst feeling to ever have really with the team. There's some pro teams that like I don't know, some people like some pro teams do that they go into a week 4 days scrimming and they only play scrim or even 2 scrims a day. But they do the quality of that scrim. They go into the scrims with the mindset of to learn, to be able to progress. Not just going to shooting their gun or just playing to beat the other team in the scrim like, oh, we beat these guys, yeah. But it's not like that. That's not what you need. Just going to the scrims and having a game plan every single time. What needs to be improved? What are we doing right? And another issue for the amateur scene, like or for basically amateur scene to go into the pro scene, is just sticking it out. But a problem with also sticking it out if it no 100%. But problem with that is if it didn't work the first time due to a reason, it's not going to work the second time. And a prime example, I'm going to say this for a prime example of this team, is Aspire that went to San Diego, which the roster consisted of Seduceful, Atomic, Retro, Nucleate, and Lerpsy. That was an exact same team in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, Dallas or New Orleans, and they placed exactly the same or even a little bit worse. Top 24. At that point, if it didn't work,
if even if they get 24 or whatever, maybe sticking it out and learn that rather than dropping instantly and always having a new team going event to event, can sticking together and learning from that actually fix that?
It does, but that's if everyone is seeing improvement and comes back into the event or the different event with a different mindset and sees improvement. But if basically all that improvement you did online doesn't transfer to LAN, then if it doesn't work the first time, if it does work the second time, then that's instantly a basically recap. It's like, all right, this didn't work, it's done. So it's done and dead. Simple. Because I've seen a lot of amateur teams that do the same thing with the same repeated players, and it's the same outcome because they just try again with the same people they try to make it look like, oh, they switched the roster, but in reality, it's the same people. But if it didn't work the first time, and you guys try working out again, but it's still not working, then just cut the quits and basically in the sense that as an AM, take your chance. And what I mean by that is that if you see like an upcoming player like trying to get to in the competitive mindset, take the risk because as an AM, to be honest, you have nothing to lose. At that state, for myself, you have nothing. When I was an AM as myself, you have nothing to lose. You lose to a pro player, whatever. They're supposed to beat you in that aspect. They're supposed to, but you gotta take that drive and be like, all right, he's beating me right now, but in a couple months or even a couple weeks, I'm gonna start beating him. Like you gotta think every step as a learning process, and that's what I learned from me. Like my toughest hit through my competitive life was in season 1, Atlantic City, when I couldn't show up to the event. I no showed my team.
That's terrible, Toti.
That's probably one of the worst things that can happen to an amateur or even an upcoming player. That like I had started building my name back then in season 1. I started playing with basically a bunch of like the veterans, Yogurt, Phenomenon, and all those people back in season 1. But that event specifically, when I literally was about to go to Atlantic City, it literally made me from almost being top, dropped me a tremendous amount where everyone said, oh, you can't get on this team, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. And like it made it to a point where like I couldn't even team with the amateurs at that point.
Damn.
Oh, it hit me. I couldn't even team amateurs. They didn't even have faith in me either. So I had to basically bust my ass off to basically shoot that I'm still shoot straight and I'm still at the highest level. And I could still be to get to the
Colin,
as long as I had the
right
people. But
his voice is cracking.
Yeah, Toti, goddamn, I'm just be on my cell phone, man. Hey, but
your voice is cracking too. So is Cloud's at this point.
So, what you call it? So do you pretty much it's not impossible to go from AM to pro in a short amount of time if you have the right mindset. But yeah, that was actually pretty good insight and some advice though, Toti. Hopefully my mic can anymore. But before it does, my phone completely shuts off. Colin, any last words, final thoughts, anything you want to say to the stream?
Keep watching Gears of War. I'm gonna keep tuning into the 2Ks. If you're an amateur, keep grinding, keep playing, get into the 2Ks. Go to the Toronto LAN, make a name for yourself. Play, learn, get better. Learn from your mistakes, correct them moving forward. Even if you gotta have the mistakes beaten out of you, let them get beaten out of you. Keep playing, keep pushing, keep moving forward. Don't let anybody tell you can't have something if it's what you truly want to do. Never let somebody tell you that you can't work for your dreams. Your dreams can come true. I'm living proof of that. I got to cast Gears of War twice now. I can't be any happier, and I can't even be happier. The only thing that makes me better is being across from the man on the other side of the screen. Velly, thank you again for having me on the show. Thank you for letting me be here, experience this ride with you, my friend. I love you to death. Thank you so much.
Love you too, man. Toti, you're a free agent right now, man. Anything you want to say, any promises you want to make before we see you at this Mexico event where you're going to be comfortable with a team by then?
Expect greater things from me. I've always rebounded back in every situation I've been in so far. It's not stopping now. And yeah, if you also want to follow me on my social media, it's at TotiDGAF. If you want to follow me there. But for everyone else that also needs encouraging advice, the best thing I can tell you, have confidence in your ability. That's the main thing everyone should have. They should believe in. Confidence in your ability.
Right.
But with that, that being said, I appreciate everything you did, Velly, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, listen, I love both. You know you my dude. You're my super light-skinned twin. Toti, I think you're great. On the record, I'm going to say, I wish that your Raw didn't meme changes, and I wish that Hive was still the same team that we saw in San Diego. That same is the bad for pick up, but you guys did extremely well in a short amount of time for a reason. When magic like happens, you don't want to ruin it. But I hope they do well. I hope you do even better. Other than that, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. No, haven't been able to reach all stream because I'm on my cell phone because the internet is out of my whole block. I hate New Jersey.
This is so bad.
No, I really think it's out to the stream.
My man.
And it's kind of.
Poor New Jersey. New Jersey ain't do nothing to nobody except exist, and you hate them.
Oh my god.
So, with that being said,
Cut
I
it,
love you
cut
all.
it.
We'll catch you guys next. I'll see you guys next time on the show, man. Go ahead, take it to the intro, outro, whatever.